Hey, first and foremost, let me wish a happy birthday to my favorite Blaxican in the whole wide world, Maggie Villanueva. I'm just kidding. I don't really know her last name, but that's my dog. It's her birthday. Happy birthday to you. I don't know how to sing it in Spanish, so you're just gonna get this right here. Shout out to her. Safe travels on the way to dinner with her fiance, her future husband. Shout out to my boy Robbie. Um, had to give them a special Defiant Brandon shout out and happy birthday. Yeah, so happy birthday. But tonight, the moment you've all been waiting for, we are discussing the Chicago street toughs, the hooligans, the hoodlums, the degenerates, the lowbrow, skullduggerous youth of Chicago who beat up a pregnant woman who was walking her son to school because he feared for his safety due to extreme bullying that I believe crossed the line and graduated up to attempted murder that he was experiencing at the hands of his peers in Chicago. More tragic news coming out of Chicago. The parents are outraged. The Black community is going off, it's erupting. Can't be beating up pregnant moms when they're simply trying to stick up for their wimpy sons. Okay. 9 years old. This boy was 9 years old. Hit him in front of his mom. I'm gonna play the video. We're gonna get demonetized for sure. If we play a video of these kids beating up this woman, we're getting demonetized. So make sure y'all hit me with the super chats, the cash apps, all the donations, because you show kids beating up somebody mama while she's pregnant. Yeah, YouTube no likey. And then we're gonna talk about how everyone says I talk about Donald Trump too much, but I gotta talk about this. Donald Trump and the Saudi prince straight G check the woke leftist media. And then to make matters worse for them, they then ink a $1 trillion investment deal. Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying? My kinfolks, my people live out in Saudi Arabia right now. So shout out to them out in Riyadh. Saudi Arabia is going to invest $1 trillion into the U.S. economy. I mean, God, can Trump stop winning? Can this $1 trillion investment from Saudi Arabia, bro? And then if you guys help me reach my donation goal by donating via Super Chat, Cash App, PayPal, or anything that is pinned to the top of the chat, we could get into the debate that I had at No Jumper. And I'll tell you about my future concerning No Jumper. And I'll tell you my honest opinion on the state of No Jumper right now and every single host at No Jumper. We can get into the nitty-gritty. Tam is working for DeJounte. We could talk about that too. But we gonna talk about it. And y'all could come up. We hit our donation goal. We'll talk about No Jumper, and I'll let you guys up to criticize however you see fit my debate and all this stuff. Because I see y'all already acting up. So let's get to the first topic immediately. These little kids beat up this lady, this pregnant woman. Crazy. and this is not pretty. So those of you who may be sensitive, you might want to cover your eyes up. But I don't know what the hell's going on in Chicago. Is it something in the water? Now I know exactly what's going on, and I'm going to explain to you all what is going on right after we watch this video. Wait, where's my one? I just made one. I can't find the layout that I made. So we're just gonna have to use this layout. I hope y'all can see everything okay.
Come on, blood. Shamar, look at that. Shamar. Come here. What you want, Shamar? Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at that.
Imagine you are pregnant and you walk to the school to pick up your son and your daughter from school, and then you're just walking back home. You want to make sure they get to school safely and make it home safely because you live in Chicago. So you guys are walking back home when you guys are approached by a gang of middle schoolers. A gang of middle schoolers. Now, your kids are younger. It looks like they're younger than middle school. But these middle schoolers start calling you all type of names and things like that. And then eventually they hit you. And not only they hit you, but they start hitting you and your children. And then at one point they're jumping you and you're on the ground, your kids are on the ground, and they are beating you. This happened in Chicago. And this was, again, she is pregnant, you guys. As a mom, she went to the school to get her kids and was walking them home safely when they were approached by middle schoolers and jumped on in Chicago. And the whole Chicago is outraged this morning. They're looking for these kids or their parents. They are pissed, and reasonably so. And if it were me, I promise you, it would have been some candle visuals and some balloon releases planned. I promise you. This is crazy. I'm not victim blaming or anything like that, but I wish the mother had something to protect herself and her children. You have to protect yourself and your children because they will never forget this, right? You have to know how to protect yourself. But either way, I hope they find them kids, and I hope they hold them kids accountable because it was so.
And to the parents of all them kids in Chicago that jumped that pregnant mother, all y'all need to be in court by Monday. Huh? And to the parents of all them kids that jumped that pregnant mother and her kids, all y'all need to be in court by Monday morning. I took the morning to wait to post about this because I had to see exactly how many messages I was going to get about this because I have never even had this many messages sent to me about one specific thing. This mother was on the way home from school. It wasn't a child that she had in high school. This wasn't 11th or 12th grader that kids had problem with. This was a very young minor. And there was older kids, younger kids, a group of them that were basically preying on this mother and her children. So much so that she fell on the ground and they commenced to start jumping her. Now, today I'm hearing that it's a lot of police activity up at the school, and we have not got the information about that. But all of those parents who had their kids involved in this, there needs to be charges brought up for the simple fact to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Now, to the parents of those kids that was jumping that pregnant mother outside in Chicago, I don't know what you're doing at home, but tonight it better be some whooped asses up in that house. Huh? I'm talking about one of them old back in the day ones. I'm talking about give them a bath, let them go, think they going to sleep, and commence to whooping that ass in the dark. Yeah, these kids need that. Because this mother already looked like she was going through it. In the video, they pointed out stuff that was going on with her ankles, ass. She not talking to the best of her abilities. Come to find out she was in the hospital the last couple of days. And these kids taking tack on her. Now, if she would have hit them back, then y'all would be talking about, she hitting kids. She should have left that up to a grown person or called the police. This is why stuff is happening in society right now, because our kids aren't being trained properly. Sidebar, if that was my baby mama, Lord Jesus. Huh? Chicago wouldn't have had nothing left. I would have scorched the earth. Chicago would have just been another part of Illinois. I digress. Y'all get in the comments, tell me what y'all think, but this is crazy. I'm just a messenger.
All right, so we gonna stop right there for right now. Bro, funny as hell. I gotta go subscribe to bro on YouTube, but on TikTok. Hey, listen, the kids beat the mama up. Somebody said in the comments she went looking for smoke, and she got it. I don't agree with that. For the simple fact that when I watch the video in its entirety, I'm gonna send you the link, Kasha. Don't trip. After each story. Y'all gonna get the link to come up for a few minutes. So be ready, because I'm gonna give y'all like 2 minutes to make y'all point, and then we got to move on to the next one. That's how we do it now. Okay, so basically, when I saw the video, the lady was walking away with her kid. They were following her, and I believe a couple of them kicked her son in his butt, kicked him in the ass, and then she stopped, and they put their backs against the fence, and he was hugging her around the waist. I mean, we're not going to talk about how soft this little dude is, because he's just a pure punk, but he was hugging her around the waist, and she was just kind of like, had her arm around him, like, I guess protecting him. And you could just see the kids were like a pack of dogs. They just pumped each other up to the point where a few of them got bold enough to start hitting her. But she was just walking, and one of them came up behind her son and hit bro in the eye. Bro didn't even swing back. Like, you know, bro ain't got no daddy at home, because he didn't even swing back. He just grabbed his ears and like put his head down. So he don't got a gangster bone in his body. You know what I'm saying? And as a parent, you know, you got to know your kid. You got to know your kid. And you don't, and if you know your kid is soft, you know, some kids are softer than others, but if you know your kid is soft, you cannot send your kid into a volatile situation like that. Like, you know your son, you know his temperament, you know the temperament of them people, them wild hyena like Negroes in Chicago. You know what they own, and you got to remove your kid from that situation, or never send your kid into the situation. So the woman's name is Korshonda Hatter, and she said that the situation stemmed from bullying at Chicago's Orville Bright Elementary School in the South Deering neighborhood. She's basically saying that she can't even sleep at night, because she still can hear the voices, or she can hear the voice of her son calling out to her, and there was nothing she could do. What a pregnant woman who looked like she weighed about $120 was gonna do in a crowd full of hostile kids, I don't know. But mama, there go that man. You gotta have some situational awareness, baby, because you are pregnant and you are that big. There was nothing you was gonna do. These kids are strong. They own dope. They own PCP. They're eating processed foods with preservatives, going straight to their adrenal gland, accelerating their growth because of the steroids that's pumped into the meat of the Hot Pockets and chicken nuggets that they eating. They're out here looking big. They out here looking dusty as hell too, but they out here looking big. They're big. And so you, little miss, you got to understand, even a 9, if your son is 9 and he's being bullied by boys who are at least 9 and above. And I'm telling you right now, when I was 10 years old, I was far stronger than my mom. Like, it wasn't even a joke. My mom could, when I was 10, my mama tried to hit me when I was 11. I would grab my mom's hands, and out of respect, I would release them so she could continue to beat me. But if I didn't want her to get her hands away from me, there was no way she was going to get them away. So, you know, it's just situational awareness. This woman was tripping. Where's the daddy at? Why is your baby mama outside looking a mess? Ankles was all messed up. She was slurring her speech. I thought she was a little bit slow, which made me feel even more sorry for her. But I'm learning that she just had been in a hospital. So she fresh out the hospital, walking her son to school. Like, what was you going to do? Unless you had like a blade on you or something and you was ready to catch some bodies, what were you going to do? But like I always say, my people, we lack situational awareness, and we really think we are the toughest thing on the earth, no matter how small we are. And it just was not a good look. I'm going to drop the link for y'all to come up and give y'all comments while I let you know that I play this part of the video where it tells us that, you know, these little kids were arrested. But ultimately, guys, it's all a setup. And I'm going to tell you why after this video.
responsible for the assault have been arrested. The incident occurred as the pregnant woman was walking home. After a group of minors knocked her down, they took turns jumping over her as if playing a vaulting horse game. Her young son rushed into the crowd, shielding his mother's abdomen with his frail body. Despite his tears, a cell phone camera captured this heart-wrenching scene, while the children laughed and completed each shove. Most alarming is that the pregnant woman suffers from sickle cell disease, where any injury could trigger life-threatening complications. What appeared as a childish prank instantly escalated into a life-threatening assault. The judicial system has taken the rare step of holding multiple parties accountable. Not only will the juvenile perpetrators face trial, but their parents will also be prosecuted for parental neglect. The judge explicitly noted in the case file that behind juvenile violence often lies absent family education. Police presence has now been increased around the school, and formal charges have been filed against both the children and their parents to ensure such violence does not recur.
Yo, what up, Costa?
Peace and love, Brandon. How you doing, brother?
Oh, kids, what say you?
You now you know I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate, right?
I mean, you don't have to play. Just give your opinion on this situation.
You right. I ain't playing. I'm goddamn devil's advocate. Call me Satan. Listen, these people out here in Chicago making a big deal out of this situation. Why? I don't know. I got a lot of questions.
Because a pregnant lady got beat up and she's got sickle cell.
Allegedly, she got sickle cell. You know,
Allegedly.
I got a whole lot of questions. The story is her kid had been getting bullied for 3 years at this school. She has made complaints over the course of 3 years about the bullying.
Yeah.
The school district has failed to address the bullying.
Right.
She's pregnant, right?
Yes.
Your kid getting bullied, right? Where your baby daddy or any man in your family, a cousin, get Pookie next door to walk up to the school with you while you pregnant with some kids. So she went up there looking for conflict. She went up there looking for smoke, and they gave her the inferno.
I mean, what makes you believe she went up there looking for smoke? She was simply just walking.
No, she didn't. She wasn't simply walking. The story is she'd been dealing with this for 3 years. So she went up there so she could walk them home. I've seen this happen. We know what happened.
So
leave my baby alone.
So she's walking them home, telling them to leave her.
She went up there for conflict. She went up there for conflict because if you pregnant, why don't you have somebody on the side of you who could assure that nothing will go wrong with your pregnant ass?
Because maybe she thought that the kids had some type of home training. You know, most kids
not in 2025, listen, Brandon.
Bro, in 2025,
not in 2025. We got very few kids like your daughter, bro. We got very few kids out there like that.
Listen, most kids are not going to jump on somebody's mama, hit them, hit a kid while their parent is around.
Bro, she looked like a crackhead.
Yes, she does look like a crackhead.
She looked like a hype.
Listen,
kids
but what I'm
jump on hypes all the time.
I know, I understand that, but what I'm telling you is the girl is pregnant. So, like, I believe she thought that she would garner some type of sympathy because you got to be real, man. These people.
How do they know she's pregnant though? Did she say, "Hey, y'all, I'm pregnant"?
Poking out. Her stomach was big and pregnant.
Man, that ain't big. How many months pregnant she is, Brandon?
Go look at the thumbness. She at least.
I've seen it. I've seen the video plenty of times, bro.
She looks like she's right out of her.
This lady is my peer. She's 33 years old.
But she's a little bitty thing. She ain't a big, strong Ghanaian.
Exactly why she should have had somebody out there at least a little bit bigger than her.
In 100 cases or incidents, there ain't no way I would have expected some little kids to jump on. And then here's the cold part.
I ain't never expected no kid to get gunned down in the driveway either, though.
Let me tell you this though. You at a school where y'all paying taxpayer dollars for school safety, police officers patrolling the neighborhood around the school, all that. Where were these people at? When a school see a bunch of kids in a mob walking behind somebody, there are police officers and everything working at the school who are supposed to be notified to go see what's going on over there. The reality is Chicago is a failing city. Brandon Johnson claims that all these kids need is jobs so they won't be violent predators. And the reality is Brandon Johnson is setting these kids up for socialism, where they can be basically interned and enslaved after they commit heinous acts. The reality is, bro, these kids need their ass beat, but the parents have been totally disempowered. They've been totally stripped of their power to discipline their kids in the way they see fit. So now the parents is,
and how is that?
Dude, you whoop your kid and that kid go to school and tell somebody you're cooked. You're going to jail. No, man, that's real.
You know what it is, B, bro. Hey, bro. Ain't nobody stopping nobody from whooping their kids' ass in Chicago.
That's not true.
You know what?
That's not true.
Police will encourage it.
Today went to school, tomorrow went to school and said, my daddy hit me and he beat me. Bro, you gonna have a lot of problems on your hands. And you know kids lie, and especially kids with that
not
type
kids
of
that age, bro. These aren't babies. Bro, these are 10-year-olds. They be left at home by themselves, bro. Most of the time they're fending for themselves.
Listen, bro, you have kids. If those kids, I have a kid in school. If those kids, 10, 11, 12, 15, 17, if those kids go to school and say, my daddy or mama beat my ass, sent me home to bed with no dinner, made me stand in a corner for 2 hours. Bro, you getting a social work. First of all, they're not even letting your kid come home.
They understand.
Social worker gonna come to your house with the police.
Abuse there. But you physically disciplining your kid
anything
by
is
whooping
abuse,
their
bro.
ass ain't abuse,
anything is abuse these days. You touch your bro. Listen, I got a foster kid. You already know that, bro. They run you down what is considered abuse and what's not. And I'm telling you, based on what they tell you, you can't even you can't even use harsh words on your kids no more. That's abuse, because they're gonna say it's psychological abuse, trauma, all that stuff, bro. If you argue with your wife in front of your child, that is abuse. They will remove your child, and it don't even matter if it's serious. Hey man, you shut up. Nah, you shut the hell up. Your kid go tell a teacher, your mama told your daddy to shut up. They are mandated. They're a mandatory reporter. They report you. Either you're entering into a voluntary case with the Child Protective Services or your kid is getting removed, my nigga. I mean, they totally, listen, we have sat up in this country and let them totally strip us of the ability to discipline our kids. So with those kids that beat up that lady, I don't even blame the parents, really, because I know the parents have been stripped of power. The parents are gonna say,
you blaming the kids, Brandon.
Listen.
Come on.
I'm not blaming the kids. I'm blaming the system that has stripped parents of their ability to discipline their kids. This is coming from a man whose daughter ain't even got 5 whoopings in her whole life. I have a foster. Listen, I have a foster kid now, right? Bro, I had to pay $10,000 for a lawyer to fight the Child Protective Services because me and my wife had an argument in front of my daughter, and they came to my house talking about we need to remove your kid because that's a form of abuse. I slammed the door in their face. They come back with the police. I don't open the door. I go to LA, lawyer up. My lawyer had to make a phone call to these people and basically let them know we about to sue y'all if y'all keep harassing this dude. And when I looked up everything, they were within their right to do that based on the laws of the state. So
but
I've dealt with this when my daughter was little.
Who said that y'all was at home arguing? Your daughter went and said that?
No, let me tell you what happened. My wife's mom was like, she basically she was all over. Stop, whoever tapping that in the background, we can hear you. But my wife's mom, Nosy, getting all up in our business and shit, she had said something, and I don't know if she had mentioned it to like a friend of hers who was a social worker. I don't know exactly how it happened, but I know the social worker came to my house. So it could have been a neighbor, it could have been whoever. But the point was, if the social worker come to your house, like, oh yeah, you guys were like arguing, and then they're like, oh, you got a kid. They just make up whatever. But the point is, my daughter was only like 4 years old at that time, and it wasn't no real argument. It was just like we were talking, and it was, I wouldn't even say it really got heated. She had said something, I said something back, smart, slick and shit. Then she said something smart, and I was like, I don't give a fuck, shut up. I was like, shut the fuck up, whatever. And apparently, whoever heard that, bro, they was on some like crazy shit. Oh, this is psychological abuse, trauma. I was like, man, I don't want to hear none of that. If you talking
like, to a brother who been through, I've been through DCFS, right? You know,
Me too.
They used to come to our house and give us little interviews and stuff.
But you went through DCFS in the 90s or early 2000s. It's totally different now, bro.
Yeah, it was me.
Everything is abuse. Everything you could think of, bro. Back in the day, it was only domestic violence if you beat your girl up. Do you know that going through your girl phone is a form of domestic violence? Not giving your wife money if she needs it is a form of financial abuse. You can go to jail for that. That's crazy shit, bro. Like listen, people have been totally stripped of the ability to discipline their kid. Like, I'll give you an example. Say you got a kid who's 10 years old, right? Say your kid like, Dad, I ain't never going to school again. What you gonna do?
Send them to school.
What if they just don't go?
Hey, then the truancy officer coming.
The truancy officer come, they gonna remove your kid. You gonna be like, nah, I want my kid with me. So you gonna say, well, I'm gonna, and then the truancy officer.
So if he say he ain't going to school, what I'm gonna do is, all right, folks, well then you homeschool. We gonna homeschool you.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm gonna just not comply with you. What you gonna do?
My kid ain't gonna do that.
What if your kid decided to do that? What if your kid got around the wrong crowd?
That's the day my kid gonna die.
Okay, well then you're gonna have to take your kid life. But what I'm telling you is, you do anything other than that, because you're going to prison for that. But if you do anything other than that, your kid is gonna get removed and you're gonna have no control. Boarding school these days is a joke because they under the same rules as the parents. The parents have been stripped, bro. The only person you could blame is the system. You think people? Do you think that if it was as simple as going out? Wait, do you think if it was as simple as going out whooping some ass, you think these people would be having their kids running around with switches and stuff, bro?
Yeah.
Nah, because if your daddy could beat your ass, you're gonna be more scared of him than what O Block gonna do to you.
So which goes to my point, where's Shorty baby daddy at?
That's my point as well. That's what, listen, there's a lot of questions I have, because I'm one of the school of thought. If you know you got sickle cell anemia, why you pumping out all these damn kids knowing you could pass it on to them? That alone shows me that someone is very irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's sickly and she's still pumping out kids. You have a son who seems to be healthy. I think she got another kid who seems to be healthy. You're sick. You're sickly. You're not really in a position where you could just keep pumping out all these kids, and you're really not even in a position to defend them, you know, if need be. She just was a mess. You fresh out the hospital. I think that lady might be a little bit slow. And you know how it is for slow chicks in the hood. Dudes will pump babies all in them all day and just take off.
She do look a bit slow. Like I said, she look like she do drugs. Here's the thing. My issue is this makes us look very bad as a community. They got lynch mobs together and went to every one of the kids who allegedly did this, went to their house and knocked on the door.
I agree. I think that's a great thing.
How is that great, nigga? We can't do that with Lil Glocktavius who shoot the block up, bro. We gonna do it for some women and some kids, man.
Hey, because Lil Glocktavius, he's shooting. The police gotta handle that. These kids jumping on folks.
We can't form like what you said on your channel. I remember you did like a little a show on this. So we can't form a group if we know somebody is doing something. We can't form a group and go and demand his arrest. Go outside and this person needs to be. We can do that. Just like they demanding that these kids go to jail. They saying they should go to jail. No.
They should go to jail.
No, they should not.
They should go to some type of juvenile. Yeah, they should, because that's the only thing that's going to deter them.
They don't know what they're doing. They need community
They know exactly,
service.
bro. Some of them kids was like 13 years old, bro. It wasn't all
they
little kids.
They vary 11 to 12 at the oldest.
And when you're 12 years old, you have hit puberty. You know what's going on. You a little girl.
No, you 12, don't. Your prefrontal your prefrontal cortex is not formed yet until you're like 25.
You know right from wrong from the time you 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old, bro. When your mama say when your mama say no, don't do that. Stop.
There's a science. There's a science.
And I'm telling you, based on
science
and experience, your kid knows not to hit their mama or hit their auntie at 3, 4 years old. They know right from wrong. You know right from wrong.
Yeah, but when you 10 years old, bro, a lot has happened in the time between 3 years old all the way up to 10, 11, 12. You're still the same person, but man, a lot of trauma done changed you.
At the age of 7, 6, 5 years old, that you don't jump on no pregnant woman and start stomping her out, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, they didn't. Listen, I'm a firm believer that they did not know this girl is pregnant. Nobody knew she was pregnant until she said she was pregnant.
No,
and nobody looked like, oh no, that's a pregnant woman.
You can see in the thumbnail that she's pregnant
in the hospital.
You can see from the thumbnail that she's pregnant. Her stomach is big as hell. You can see.
She had on a coat. It's cold out here.
Listen, you could see clearly.
A big baggy ass coat on top of that. That's why she looked like a bum.
No, come look at the thumbnail. Go look at the thumbnail. You can see that woman is
and it's people saying she ain't even pregnant, bro.
Hey, listen, man, listen. If you come over here with vulgar comments, you're gonna be deleted immediately. Like, you don't have to be talking D's and all that, bro. Come be a regular person. You're not on no jumper. We know Adam has trained you to act ignorant because he don't got to deal with you when he go to his mansion every night. Stop with the vulgar comments, bro. Straight up. Don't even, hey, moderators, if you see somebody in here using vulgarity, get them out immediately. I don't want that type of stuff on this channel. I'm going to give you the opportunity to come up and talk about the debate and all that, but you guys are making it hard for regular civilized people to watch the content. That's why I don't want to really make content about none of that, because the audience is totally, most of them is brain dead. Most of them ain't got no sense. They probably people who live in nice neighborhoods, but get on the internet to act, crazy. Using D and all, get them out. Get them out. We don't need them. You gonna act civilized, or you just not gonna be here. So go ahead and prove how smart you are and how gangster you are by getting blocked, because you ain't proving nothing. Don't delete them immediately. If they do it again, bro, get rid of them. This is the one and only warning. But anyway, nah, man. Parents have been stripped of their power to discipline their kids. So the kids is running around out here doing whatever they want to do. And the only thing that's going to help kids at this point is to sit in some type of youth authority or something, because they need to know at a young age that you do this. This is what's coming for you when you become an adult. Here's a little taste, because you're not listening to your mama.
Scared Straight never scared any of them kids from committing.
Nah, Scared Straight work. Trust me, bro.
That shit did cause. Why they ain't still doing it?
Nah, then? I know people, bro. They haven't been scared straight.
Why ain't still doing it then?
They live in
I saw an episode where the kid, he like, you want to go in there with him? And he like, yeah.
Bro, listen, bro, you ain't seen, bro, you haven't seen an episode of Scared Straight in 20 years. Please stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a while ago. This little white kid, you like, you want to go in there with him?
They stopped Scared Straight because they said that was a form of abuse, bro. Everything is a form of abuse now. They've made it to where you can't do nothing. So what I'm telling you is, when they go to youth authority, they're going to see. They're going to miss their mama. They're going to miss their freedom. They're going to say, man, I can't be out there operating like that. The kids are out of control because the environment has been set. It's been carefully arranged to let them have no accountability for what they do, to prepare them for jail.
I think it's the other way around. For a while, women have been what you just described. They
yeah,
let
we already
women
talked
run
about
amok.
the daddy. We
Nobody
already
can
talked about the daddies ain't around.
Yeah, and not just that, bro. Like this whole thing don't look good. You got a killer flying her out to LA. You got to kill her. This nigga in the trenches flying her out to LA for dinner, bro.
You're in the weeds. You're in the weeds right now.
You said
what the hell does LA getting flew out to LA have to do with anything?
So Lil Zay Osama, rapper Lil Zay Osama, is allegedly flying the mama and the kids out to LA for a week to have dinner with him.
That's okay. Let her unwind.
He's a killer.
It don't matter.
Is a killer.
It doesn't matter.
This is a nigga who killed black people.
It doesn't matter. He's doing something that he probably trying to get some type of redemption off of that. But at the end of the day, he probably looking at her
like everybody is. Yeah, everybody on the internet that's taking this and they tweeting about it and all of this shit. Bro, this is clout chasing. These are kids, bro.
I actually like to see. Listen, man, you're not getting no points with me with these are kids, bro. F that. The kids in Chicago ain't even kids like that, bro. Stop.
I seen kids punch up clucks all the time.
Yeah, and that's wrong to do.
It is, but hey, that just when a kid bully
a crackhead, the other kid's supposed to jump on his ass and whoop his ass. Hey, don't do that, bro. Like if that,
but you know it don't happen like that. Niggas sit back and watch it.
Listen, what I'm telling you is everything that what goes around come around, bro. Nothing new under the sun. There was a time when stuff was like this back in the day, and then there was a correction, and things been messed up for a while now, and the correction is inevitable. It's got to go back to how it was because that's the cycle of this situation. It was like this in the late 80s, early 90s. Then there was a correction, and it was cool for like 20, 30 years, and then it fell back into this, and it's going to get corrected again. But parents have to start retaking a power back from these city governments, from these state governments. I'm talking about like nobody wants to say that sometimes kids need their ass whooped because it's taboo. We've made discipline in our children taboo. The Bible say, if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. That's ancient knowledge, right? So you think ancient knowledge is going to be proven wrong by a bunch of blue-haired freaks who don't even have kids making rules for you on how you treat your kids? Nah, they're setting you up so that they could make money off of your kids by putting them in private prisons. That's it. We know what it is.
That ain't affecting Black Chicago, bro. That's not affecting us, man.
How you
know, we got a term over here. We got a term over here. We call it belt to ass.
Listen, bro.
Everybody familiar with it.
If y'all was putting belt to ass, people wouldn't be running around with switches, bro. Clearly,
the ones that run around with the switches, they actually got beat too much. They got beat too excessively. They got beat with extension cords and iron cords and shit.
There's overkill, but I don't agree with you. I think that the ones with the switches got with the bad boys with the switches young, and they mamas and daddies was like, ain't nothing I could do. If you look at gangbanging and stuff, bro, either your parents are absent or your parents don't care, or they just don't have the energy to deal with you. And if you look at people like what's that little King Von and all them, bro, looked like his mom like might have cared about him, but there was nothing she could do to control that boy. You know what I'm saying? FGB Duck, his mama, you could tell she cared about him, but there was nothing she could do. And to him, once he got with the homies, it was over. And the only thing you could do is like what my cousin did, remove your kid from that situation. My cousin, one incident with her son and some dudes up in the gardens, she was gone. Moved to Indiana. I'm out. Bought a house. Peaceful neighborhood. Beautiful. Just was up there. Zero crime rate. You know what I'm saying?
Like little mama who got stumped out. Everybody can't just leave. She been complaining for 3 years. Don't you think she wanted to leave?
Nah, she didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay and keep getting impregnated by Pookies and Ray Rays up in the hood. And that's what she kept doing.
I don't know. I feel like this could have just all been a little money grab, bro.
Nah, bro. Nobody pregnant with sickle cell looking like they was calling her Shamar. She do look like Shamar, low-key. Nobody in that state is going out like, yo, because who she gonna sue? She could sue the city, and I think she should sue the city. But the city bankrupt. So, but that's just a bunch of kids out of control. And I want you to do me a favor. Go read books like Lord of the Flies, Oliver Twist. Go watch the movie Once Upon a Time in America. You will see kids can come from even good homes, but once they're left to their own devices in the street, they can turn to savagery very quickly. And so you like they just kids. No, kids are some of the most heinous criminals if they are not properly disciplined and
they heinous criminals managed at the behest of another person.
They did a heinous crime, bro. So now,
yeah, they heinous people because they learn from a heinous adult how to be a heinous kid. No, that's not true. That's like blaming a dog, bro. Like, I'm not gonna blame a kid ever. I'm not ever gonna blame a kid. I'm gonna blame the community.
How old are your kids? How old are your kids?
My boy is 6. My daughter is 3. She'll be 4 next month, and I got a baby girl.
You gonna learn. You gonna learn.
Hey, you gonna see. I'm learning, bro. Listen,
bro. I have nephews that were raised doing nothing but going to church, bro. They got around some little ghetto.
That's god awful, bro. I would have did the same thing them niggas did because I can't stand going to church.
But look, no. They were raised going to church. They were raised right. They know what's right and they know what's wrong. They got around the wrong crowd within our own family, and them dudes just went buck wild. Why? Not because they was abused, not because they was hurt.
Because they didn't believe that Christ shit.
That has nothing to do with it, bro. It just has to do with
everything to do with it, bro. They didn't believe that shit. That's why they went against the grain with it.
Not. You don't have to believe in Jesus to know what's right and wrong.
I mean, listen, what's right and wrong is subjective. What's right to you may be wrong to the next person.
Beating up a pregnant lady is wrong. It's no arguing that.
It looked like she tried to fight back.
Did that woman put her hands on him?
It's also wrong for her to go outside pregnant.
So she can't go outside pregnant. She didn't confront anybody. She
went outside pregnant with sickle cell, then it flared up.
So we're trying
to confront kids. These YNs ain't playing nothing, bro. Like, I'm not talking to no kids.
So we gonna lie now. We making up lies now.
What was the lie that I made up, Brandon?
You just said she confronted them. I watched the video. She was walking away.
Listen, how
are you confronting some? Listen, bro. How are you confronting someone?
All right, so why they didn't beat her up any other time that she came to come pick her kids?
I'm not answering no question till my question is answered. How are you confronting someone if you are walking away from them?
She wasn't walking away in the beginning of the video.
Then you didn't see the video then.
I saw the video. Her back was against the fence.
No, you didn't watch the whole video. So that's how I know you didn't watch the whole video. Because
all right, Brandon, but you don't know the whole situation. You don't know what happened before somebody turned the camera on.
What I know is she was walking away. The kids were saying, we not even messing with him. It's the littler kids messing with him, but they all following behind. The lady said, leave my son alone as she's walking. They said, we not messing with him. That one of the little boys walk up behind the son, hit bro in the eye from behind. The little boy stopped, grab his head. He hurt. She take him in her arm and she turn around to face them, and she starts backing up against the fence because they didn't attack their boy from behind and they kicked him in the butt. When she was with her back up against that fence, they all gathered around like dogs and they egged it. They built themselves up and they started throwing punches at her. The woman didn't throw no punches, bro. And
they should. No, she swung. She swung, bro. When her back was on that fence, she came out. Hey, bro. I know my people, bro. Listen, I know my people. I know how my sister is.
You don't. I know how my sister is. No, but you also know how these kids are too. But the point is, she swung in self-defense after they had hit her
and nephews, bro. They ate.
Listen. She swung in self-defense after they hit her several times. After they hit her son from behind, they was kicking him in the butt while she was holding him. What else do you expect her to do, bro? She's up there trying to protect her kid, but she's just like, I'm just walking.
She can't do that. She's not protector and provider.
She can't walk her kid home from school.
Hey, so why didn't they beat her up any of the other times out of these 3 years that she said they've been bullying her? How do you
know that she was walking? Okay, here's my question.
This is how I knew she went up there for confrontation. No, because any other time you come and walk them home, you walk them home successfully. Ain't no you went up there.
You don't know how many times she walked bro home.
She got tired of it. She like, that's it. That's it.
I see why dudes are shooting up Chicago because y'all got some ignorance right now. Because it's a clear story.
Bruh, this is why people shooting up LA because y'all got ignorance over there in LA.
I will tell you that's the honest to God truth. But I'm not sitting up talking about, oh, in LA we got a certain culture that makes this okay. That's what I
never
doing.
said it's a culture that made it okay. I'm not saying it's okay that these kids beat this girl up.
That's exactly what you said. You said that earlier. This is recorded. That's exactly what you said.
I said it's okay for
your first statement was she went up there and looking for smoke and she got fired.
Yeah, she went up there looking for smoke and she got the inferno.
Yeah, right. But she didn't go up there looking for smoke. She went up there because her kids.
Oh, she did though. She did though, and because she went up there looking for smoke, she got what she was looking for.
She went up there to walk her kid home because the school is failing her kid by letting people bully him.
Out of 3 years, this the one time they beat her ass.
Whether it's
3 years that she been complaining and walking her kid home for 3 years.
How do you know she was walking her kid home for 3 years, bro?
Yeah, she didn't have no car, bro.
But how do you know she had no whip?
She had to walk them home.
So you're speculating.
It was either that or she gets on the bus.
He can't walk.
She doesn't have any whip.
They just bought her a car by himself. He can't walk himself home by himself.
Not if they beating his ass, obviously, and he complaining to her at home. Hey, mom, they gonna scout me tomorrow if I go to school. Can you please come up here and help me?
At the end of the day, the lady went up there to walk her son home. She wasn't hitting nobody. She wasn't attacking nobody. She was walking away with her kid. Those kids followed her down the street. They cornered her against the fence as they were following her, attacking her, nipping at them like dogs. They cornered her. They started beating her up. They knocked her on the ground. They started stomping her. I didn't see that.
What I saw was a mama who tried to go up there. And if you were that concerned, you find out where them kids stay at. You listen.
Go do your research. Go do your research.
If she was that concerned, she would have found out where the parents stay.
Listen,
she would have found out where the parents stay. That is how adults take care of things.
Now you're
contradicting yourself. She went up there and tried to be a vigilant, so she got beat up.
No, she didn't. Now
she went up there and tried to be. She just got beat up and got $200K.
When the other parents went to the houses, you said that they was wrong to do that. So you're literally now
the other man. You got yourself. People outside these houses with shiesties on. They got shiesties on their face. They standing outside like a lynch mob.
So you
there wasn't other moms. Those was men out there. It was niggas out there outside the women houses. Come on, bro. There was niggas out there. What was the niggas that when she needed somebody to walk her home?
But you said
what was the niggas that when she needed somebody to walk her kids home safely?
They were at home.
They was nowhere to be found. But when some sensation come around, everybody want to jump in front of the camera and act like they're a hero.
Listen, bro, that's bull crap. Nobody thinks that a bunch of kids is gonna jump on a pregnant lady. That's silly. Nobody
thinks a kid will take a bullet to the head. Nobody thinks that somebody execution style kill a kid. But that stuff happened over here in Chicago.
That stuff happened, but that stuff ain't happening on the school campus. It's not happening by parents who are females.
So ain't no kids getting their wigs pushed back on the school campus, is what you're saying. Nobody getting splat right there on the school campus.
But they're getting that done by other kids. That's not grown woman. Listen, bro.
Not all the time.
You sounding
bro. Okay,
you just contradicted yourself. You said it was okay, then you said it was wrong. You said she went to their house.
Hey, I said she went looking for a fire and she got the inferno.
I don't think she went looking for a fire.
He slid on some high schoolers downtown.
I think she did what any mother would do.
Adults slide on kids all the time.
That's fine.
Adults beat the shit out of kids all the time. Now some kids beat an adult up, everybody crawling foul. No,
why are you talking about adults sliding on kids when this woman didn't slide on nobody?
Yes, niggas slide on kids all the time.
That has nothing to do with this situation.
It has everything to do with this situation because we won't get a lynch mob together to go get them niggas. But we'll get a lynch mob to go point fingers at some kids and some females.
Give me a story where a female went and slid on a bunch of kids.
I ain't say a female. I said niggas, bro. I said adults.
So you are comparing apples to oranges. This is a woman.
I ain't comparing apples to oranges.
This woman went up there.
So ain't no female sliders, bro.
This woman went up there.
Ain't no female sliders.
This woman went up there pregnant. She had on some UGG boots with no socks. She was not going up there to fight nobody. She went up there to walk her son at home, thinking that if there was an adult present, those kids would not be trying to come at her son and bully him. Parents have did it a million times. Those kids
were
operating like savages.
It's been 3 years. Do you think this is the first time she went up to the school?
You're speculating.
I'm not. What am I speculating? That it's been 3 years?
You're speculating.
What am I speculating? That it's been 3 years, or do you think it's the first time that? Which one? Which one am I speculating?
I'm gonna go real quick because we spending too much time on this topic. I'm gonna go to this article real quick because this goes into detail a little bit more, and we'll just end it here. So a young mother said her and her 9-year-old son were beaten by a group of children and teenagers, while walking Monday on Chicago's far south side, just blocks away from a Chicago public school. According to the police, this police report, the 33-year-old woman and her 9-year-old son were walking just after 3 p.m. in the 10600 block of South Bensley Avenue when a group of offenders approached and struck the victims multiple times, which is what the video shows. Both the mom and son were taken to an area hospital where they were initially listed in serious condition. So they beat her to the point where they were in serious condition. Krishanda Hatter said the situation stemmed from bullying at Chicago's Orville Bright Elementary School in the South Deering neighborhood. I can't sleep because I wake up in the middle of the night with that vision in my head of my son calling my name to help him, and I couldn't do nothing for him. That really hurt me the most, she said, while speaking outside of the school Tuesday morning. In a post on social media, Hatter wrote that she was with both her son and her daughter at the time of attack. No mother should be that helpless and be targeted by children inside of her own community, State Senator Willie Preston said. Both Preston and Hatter have called for a meeting with the school administrators following the incident. In the statement, CPS said it prioritizes the safety and well-being of our students and families, and we are committed to building a physically and emotionally safe teaching and learning environment in every school. We are horrified by the attack on this family, and we are working collaboratively with city departments and agencies to provide support for the victims of the attack. So they're coordinating with the mayor's office. Brandon Johnson said he was deeply disturbed. This behavior is unacceptable. All this stuff. Parents and supporters gathered at the school in support of the family Tuesday morning. The actions that need to be taken, the parents need to be held accountable, says Shanice Davis, who attended the rally. Charges should be pressed, and these kids should be expelled from school. So you're the only person in Chicago who...
No, I'm not. I'm not the only person in Chicago. Go to Dreadhead Cowboy on YouTube right now. I'm not.
I'm not listening.
There's a contingent of people.
All right.
Brandon, you're not going to isolate me, brother.
Yo, let me say something real quick, man.
You're already isolated. I'm going to let you get your turn. You got a lot of background noise.
Brandon, why you mute me, bro? Why you ducking this smoke, bro?
I'm going to take you off in a second because bro trying to say something. You didn't say everything. I let you talk at length.
Yeah, dude sound like a moron, bro. Like, anybody that's condoning what them little kids did, them kids looked like the children of the corn. Now, it would have been real messed up if that lady would have upped the fucking gun and would have got to shooting their little bad asses. Then what would people be saying?
He's trying to play devil's advocate. He's not serious.
I get that. He got to be.
No, it wouldn't.
He could be that much of a moron and think that it's okay for the children of the corn, that he think it's okay for the children of the corn to attack a pregnant lady and with her little son. Like, that shit looked really outrageous. It didn't even look real. I thought that was fake. I'm like, ain't no way these little kids is jumping on this grown lady that clearly looks pregnant. You clearly tell this lady pregnant and possibly may have something mentally wrong with her. But for the most part, she looks pregnant. And it's like, what is going on in 2025 with these kids? Like, for real, that is insane.
Streets, you got background noise. When you stop, call back, and I'm going to let you talk more. Go ahead, P. Sizzle. You're in the building.
Hey, Brandon.
Personal attacks.
No personal attacks at all. Before I get to the Chicago topic, I just want to chime in and say shout outs to you for your performance on the no jumper debate. I thought you did great. Adam tried really hard to gaslight you, tried to control the conversation, especially the moment when he said, you're doing really bad, you already lost the debate. Like, that's not what a moderator does. A moderator is supposed to just ask the questions and let the debaters debate. I thought you did really well on the immigration topic. Of course, Epstein, like, it's a tough topic to argue. So I totally get the position
Epstein
they put you in.
It's not a tough topic to argue. Either you support pedophiles or you don't. But you watched both of them dudes defend the California pedophiles while pretending to care about Epstein. So,
and that was a good way to push back on them too, in my opinion. But overall, I thought you did great. Like, even today, I know Jumper, Ricky, and Lush were trying to like make it sound like you lost. Like, it's pretty obvious that they don't even want to give you kudos for being a really good debater.
Lush wasn't even there, so
he hopped on like around half the.
No. What I'm saying is Lush wasn't even there for the debate. Like, unless
he wasn't. He wasn't.
They all follow Adam, but the thing is, y'all following Adam, following him is driving your views down, and when your views go down, he's gonna fire you.
Hey, so, all I'm saying
it's a self-defeating. It's literally like they're facilitating their own end.
You go look at the comments. Person. You go look at the comments. About 70% of people said pretty much that you won. It was biased. Moose was really, really emotional.
All right, let's get back to the topic.
But yeah, coming to the Chicago topic, I personally think it comes down to bad parenting, bad kids. It's fixable if you fix it in the household. It also comes down to the Chicago Mayor Johnson not supporting police, trying to defund the police. If there are more police officers on the street, there won't be bad kids around doing bad things. They're not going to even think about beating up a little kid and his mom. But that's my whole spiel about it. Like, there's some people that make it sound like this issue comes from segregation, but you yourself have gone on record many times before on your show saying Chicago Black Americans embrace self-segregation. They love and embrace their community. That's the reason for the segregation. But that's my overall opinion.
Well, those people from Chicago came up here and said they love the segregation of Chicago.
Yep. And I think it's just bad parenting, bad kids, not supporting the police from the mayor down. I don't think it's anything else aside from that. I don't really think it's worth even alluding to gang banging or like criminal activity. Like, we've all known that Chicago's been a dump for a long time. Until they bring the fear of God back into the people and the citizens of Chicago, things aren't going to really change. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, the whole situation is messed up. I'm not even going to be able to call it bad parenting. Parents can't even parent no more. So we don't even know how people would parent if they could. Parents are totally stripped of all their power with their children. They're basically, man, you got parents out here who are prisoners in their own home to children. So I'm not even going to put it on the parents. I'm going to put it on the system. The government or the parents, people are going to have to take back their power to discipline their kids the way they see fit. But that's what the transgender and all that stuff movements were for, to strip parents of their power to discipline their kids. And guess what? It's working. So they're victims of their own success. Either you gonna have to go fight for your rights to make a clear definition of what is abuse. Hey, 5 slaps on the ass, because back in the day it used to be like, if you whoop your kid on the ass, that was not abuse, right? They're gonna have to put it down in writing. 10 lashes on the ass with a belt is not abuse. Restraining your kid is not abuse. I'm telling you, it's to the point where they're like, man, listen, as a person who is a resource parent, right, through the foster care of California, they told me if your kid attack you with a knife, your only recourse is to go lock yourself in a bathroom or in a bedroom so that kid can't get you. Because if you knock that kid out while they're trying to stab you, that is abuse. So let that sink in. Let that sink into you. That is what these parents are up against. Straight up being stripped of the power to discipline their kids, no matter how extreme the kids' actions may be. I'm getting some reports saying she was pregnant. Other reports are not even.
Bro, she wasn't pregnant.
Bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
B.
How do you know she's not pregnant? How do you know?
How you know she was?
I can see.
How you know she ain't just like one of them Ethiopian kids who be having a big belly?
Now you sounding crazy. No,
I'm playing that. But for real, I heard that. No, I got reports that said she's not pregnant, bro. I've gotten reports, bro.
And there's reports that says she is.
Okay. Hey, I know for sure though she has sickle cell. That is 100%. But the pregnancy
we know
is
that.
still
We
up.
all know that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Water
still
is
up. We
wet.
don't really know because I got questions if you pregnant. I got questions.
She looks.
Why you out there? Where your baby daddy? See, it's not
Man,
bro.
those questions are kind of irrelevant because maybe the baby
Listen,
daddy is not around.
everybody
That's
is
not
looking at
something
us
that's
right
new.
now. Every race right now is looking at this
No
shit.
one is
Like,
looking at us.
look at these niggas.
I think we responded in a
It was a
healthy
news
way.
article, bro. Come on, you can't say that other people didn't see the news and see this story and they didn't formulate their own opinions on this situation.
But
Other
what you're
races
saying
are
has nothing to
looking
do
at
with
us
the
right now.
situation. The
And they
races,
looking at us
other races.
and they seeing the lynch mob pull up to the other women's houses. And they saying, see, look, them niggas can't wait to attack each other.
So you're saying that the kids beating the pregnant woman is not as bad as the lynch mobs pulling up there? You're not making any sense, bro.
Bro, that's something that don't need to be on camera.
Man, whatever.
That's something we need to take care as a community.
Everything is on camera these days. Please stop.
Hey, and that's the issue. Everybody looking for sensation because everything is on camera. People behave different when they see a camera.
What I think is that display show people you can't mess with a black mother or somebody gonna pull up on your ass. So how's that bad?
Do you know how many people target black mothers, bro, and nothing happens to these niggas, bro? They shoot black mamas' houses up all the time, bro. They shot my mama house up, Brandon.
Maybe
I got hit, bro. They shot my mama house up. Ain't nobody do none of that, nigga.
Why do you think repeating the same thing over and over is gonna make me change what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to. Hey, I'm not trying to get you to change what you stand. I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm saying.
I understand you, and I'm telling you, you sound crazy.
That's all I wanted to hit, OB, because it felt like you're just going against me.
Going against you? I was never with you. You sound crazy as hell.
Hey, bro, I know I sound crazy, but so do you.
If
bro.
I'm with you,
sound
I'm with
crazy
you.
to me.
But I'm not with you on this one.
You sound crazy to me because at the end of the day, bro, I'm never blaming
I'm not
kids
repeating
for
what I
any of
said
our
3
problems.
times. Water
Our problems are our problems.
Water is wet. You gotta understand, water is wet. All right, listen, man. Costa, I believe you are wrong as hell. But you know you're my brother and I love you. But we gotta go to the next topic. We've been on this joint for an hour. Thank you so much for coming up. Streets, did you get your background in order? I don't think you did. Call back up at no, your background's still messed up. Call back up when you get parked. All right. Okay, guys. Whew, that was a tough topic. Jesus Christ. I got like a little bit of a migraine off of that shit. But okay, so why is only one of my titles popping up? This is wild, bro. This is disrespect. This is damn shame, bro. Kids jump the mama. Okay, so now we gonna talk about the father has spoken. Oh, she's not pregnant. She just got a wino belly. Okay, cool. She's not pregnant. My bad. Misinformation. See, this is what happens when you be looking at those Instagram articles. So she's not pregnant. She just got that crazy belly. Maybe it's fluids from being in the hospital. Sorry, guys. She wasn't pregnant, but she still didn't deserve to get beat up like that. She didn't do anything wrong. Father has addressed it. All that. We all good. But the community rallied around the woman, and I like that. I like that better than I would hate it if nobody responded. And these little kids, they were actually arrested. So, you know, take that for what it's
walking home. After a group of minors knocked her down, they took turns.
Let me see. So those kids were arrested. Oh yeah, dang. They did I play this part? Did I play the part where they arrested? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna just play this and we're gonna end it on this. Problem, solution. And I think this was a good course of action.
The children responsible for the assault have been arrested. The incident occurred as the pregnant woman was walking home. After a group of minors knocked her down, they took turns jumping over her as if playing a vaulting horse game. Her young son rushed into the crowd, shielding his mother's abdomen with his frail body. Despite his tears, a cell phone camera captured this heart-wrenching scene, while the children laughed and completed each shove. Most alarming is that the pregnant woman suffers from sickle cell disease, where any injury could trigger life-threatening complications. What appeared as a a childish prank instantly escalated into a life-threatening assault. The judicial system has taken the rare step of holding multiple parties accountable. Not only will the juvenile perpetrators face trial, but their parents will also be prosecuted for parental neglect. The judge explicitly noted in the case file that behind juvenile violence often lies absent family education. Police presence has now been increased around the school, and formal charges have been filed against both the children and their parents to ensure such violence does not recur.
Okay, well, if there's any truth to that, I think it's a step in the right direction. And if I was a parent, I go in that courtroom and say, Judge, if my kid don't listen to me, and I tell my kid to clean a room and go to school, don't beat up other people's parents, what should I do? Please tell me step by step, because we're gonna have to get. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get these people in authority to explain to us exactly how we supposed to discipline our kid. And maybe in them failing to explain, maybe that will make people see that whooping your kid's ass sometimes is an acceptable form of discipline. But one can only hope. Let's move on over to our next topic, which is Donald Trump and the Saudi prince absolutely own the mainstream woke media as Trump scolds the media for asking a very inappropriate question during his meeting with the Saudi crown prince. And if you guys don't know what happened, basically Trump and the Saudi crown prince, they were sitting before the media to announce that they had inked a deal for $1 trillion investment from Saudi Arabia into the United States. And there was a lot of controversy years ago about a situation involving a journalist who died in Saudi Arabia. I mean, it was many years ago. Donald Trump is negotiating with these people to get them to invest in the United States in an effort to tackle our $37 trillion debt. And you get him in a room, in the lazy media, the woke, dishonest media, all they can do is start asking very inappropriate questions that put the Saudi crown prince on the spot. At the end of the day, if Saudi did kill the journalist, ain't nothing you could do about that now. So why use that as a excuse to try to mess up Trump's deal with the Saudi prince? And I believe that that's exactly what it was. I believe that that was the media's attempt to try to sabotage. I believe that that was the media's attempt to try to sabotage the deal that they were making. And I tell people all the time, I believe the media is operating as a hostile force, undermining the prosperity of this country. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. They're undermining the prosperity of this country. And I think that reporter should have been banned from the White House. And I think that Trump should have made it very clear. Look, man, you have a freedom of speech. There's a freedom of the press. But if you guys cannot conduct yourself in a professional manner, then you will not be allowed back in. So I'm going to use Greg Foreman's video for this because I didn't have a chance to clip it. But let's just go here.
Oh, you just keep going on the Epstein files.
Hold on.
Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran hard.
Hold on. Am I tripping? Oh, I think this is the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared. I would have been preparing it while the guests were talking, but Costa was going crazy on me, so I had to hold on. I think this is. Please bear with me. Entertain yourselves for a second. Trump is fed up with them. Okay. I'm trying to just find. Okay, here we go. I think I got it right here. Yeah.
Some of the things he's doing when it leads to lower gas prices, rather than they want to give them able to blackmail Trump, right? You can't make this up.
Maybe I got the wrong video. I'm trying to get you guys the video where the Saudi crown prince actually speaks. Hold on. All right, here I found it. Thank goodness. All right, I got it, guys. I got it. But yeah, they're definitely trying to sabotage anything Trump does. And that's why when I talk about the mainstream media, when I talk about even the Democrat Party, you know, I ask people like, how do you win by supporting a group of people who are so hateful of the president that they're willing to hurt the country in an attempt to make the president look bad? Like, that's stupid. Because if you hurt the country, you're hurting me too. I'm not willing to let you hurt me in an effort to hurt Trump. That's just asinine right there. But there are just some people who are like, it doesn't matter. We hate Trump so much. If you get caught in the crossfire, oh well. And it's just like, I'm never going to agree with that. I'm never going to agree with that. I'm just not. So say what you want, do what you want, but no. At the end of the day, we all need to do whatever it takes to make sure that the United States is prosperous. If you're not with that, you don't have to be. But what you're not going to do, you're not going to hurt me, hurt my prosperity, hurt my ability to make money because you're mad and you're willing to put your success on the back burner to settle petty scores that you have with the president. I'm not down with that. What the hell just happened?
First Lady Melania looked stunning last night.
Hold on. Here it goes.
President, Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
It's just you ask, Mr. President, if you allow me to answer. I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America, but, we have to focus on reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, to continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism and terrorism. About the journalists, it's really painful to hear, anyone that been losing his life for, no real purpose or not in a legal way. And it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that. And it's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again.
Mr. President, this side.
Okay, so I love the fact that the Crown Prince actually spoke up for himself and made it clear. I love that Trump told this lady, look, man, you don't have to embarrass our guests by asking what I believe was a very inappropriate question at that moment, because he didn't know anything about it. This is the equivalent of saying Donald Trump orchestrated the Summer of Love, where they burned down all those cities all over America. Just because you're the ruler of a nation doesn't mean you control every single thing that happens in that nation. The journalist who died, he was an investigative reporter, and guess what? There's many people he investigated, and it could have been a number of people who killed him, right? It could have been somebody from another country in the Middle East that he interviewed who knew he was in Saudi Arabia and was like, let's take this dude out, because then they'll just blame it on the Saudis. At the end of the day's got to end. The Crown Prince, to me, he showed why he's a leader. He said, look, you sound dumb. We know that Osama bin Laden employed people from Saudi Arabia to help him carry out his acts of terrorism, because his goal was to destroy the relationship between the United States and the Saudi government. So if you out here spewing propaganda, or you're asking questions that are based on propaganda that was spread, you're helping Osama bin Laden. It ain't nothing worse than a unwitting accomplice. Someone who is helping somebody destroy something and they don't even realize that they're helping. She's just a female who they send to the White House and in front of Trump, because they know she ain't got the sense a dog got to know when and where you should ask certain questions. And that's why I'm telling you, in journalism, you're seeing the rise of the female investigative reporters and the female interviewers, because women are willing to say stuff that men have enough sense to say that's disrespectful, that's inappropriate. Because many women are very career driven. They don't care if they got to hurt you to move up the ladder. They don't care if they got to offend you to move up the ladder. They a lot of them just don't give a damn. You could watch movies about it all the time. Females who just don't give a damn. Like there's a movie with Angelina Jolie. I forgot the name of it, but she's a blonde hair reporter, and the homeless dude tell her she gonna die in 3 days. Well, she made it to the big time because she was just willing to say whatever on camera. She didn't care about other people. And he gave his answer, and she's sitting there nodding her head, yes. Well, if you know what I'm saying makes sense, then why the hell are you asking me this right now? What if bro would have got up and said, F it, deal's off the table, y'all disrespected me? Is this broke hoe gonna give us $1 trillion to help fight lower the deficit? Help cool some of this inflation? See, you can't invite everybody to everything. You can't invite everybody to everything because some people are there for nothing but ill intent. Some people are there for nothing other than to settle a score. This was not the time. This was not the place. If you got an issue with bro, hey, do you think it's a chance we could get an interview with him after he's done doing his business with Trump? And I honestly think that the United States should stop letting these reporters in on business meetings. Let the White House, let the government handle the press release, film a video, let the White House do the filming. But these reporters, man, they getting out of pocket. And I'm always going to be a champion of freedom of the press, but it's got to be the press that knows when and where to ask certain questions, because this is just, in my opinion, totally inappropriate. And I'm glad that the president checked her ass. And I know for a fact that if it had been Biden sitting by him, she would have never asked that question. But we all know Biden would have never been sitting by the crown prince, because remember, Biden was too busy putting you in debt, raising inflation by giving billions and billions of dollars to a bunch of green energy companies that went out of business, filed bankruptcy as soon as they got billions and billions of American dollars. And they ran the same play under Obama with all the Green New Deal crap. Okay, so yeah, these reporters, they need to be muzzled, and they need to have it made clear. You are not to ask about this, and this. If you want to ask him about a journalist getting killed, you do the work. You set up the interview. You go and figure out a way to get over there and talk to him. But you're not going to sabotage United States foreign relations, United States negotiations for $1 trillion. You're not going to sabotage our country because you hate the president. And a line has to be drawn in the sand, in my opinion. But yeah, she tried to play stupid games, and I'm just glad Trump G-checked her ass, and I'm glad that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, shout out to bro, like I said, the fam bam, they living over in Riyadh right now. Father-in-law is a consultant for refineries out there. So I have a personal interest in what's going on in Saudi, but we got to know how to conduct business. Don't worry, y'all. I'm getting a new camera in a couple days because this thing is old and it clicks to black every 30 minutes. But yeah, so if anybody wants to come up to drop any information on that, feel free. Your thoughts on that. We into adult talk right now. We talking about some grown folk stuff. I know a lot of the youngsters, they don't want to hear that, but this to me was just so important that I felt I needed to discuss it on my channel. And I hope you guys all agree with me, because we do have a ridiculous amount of debt, and we got to go about the business of settling this debt one way or another. And I'm sure many of you agree. So I put the link in the comments. Adchai's already in the building. What up, Adchai? You're muted.
Adchai in the building, man.
What up?
What's up? Yo, what are you saying, man? You saying America got to go to Saudi Arabia for money? That's what you telling me?
No, I'm saying that America is allowing Saudi Arabia to invest in the American economy if that's what they would like to do.
Do we need Saudi Arabia to invest in the American economy?
We need all the money we could get.
Do you know which economy is the biggest in the world? By a mile?
The United States.
Okay. Do you know which country produces the most oil and natural gas in the world? By a mile?
The United States. No,
So why the
wait, yeah,
hell?
the United States. No,
So
United States produces the most natural gas. They don't produce the most oil.
the moist oil and natural gas. Look it up.
I don't think the United States produces the most oil.
The
Not more than
United
OPEC.
States. Look it up.
Let me see.
I don't come up here and just talk garbage.
Yes, you do. Hey, what's up with all the background noise?
So why the hell do we need Saudi Arabia?
Oh, the United States, you're right. Oh, damn, by a lot.
And by the way, we live in
Saudi
a free
Arabia is
country here.
second. But I don't think we're not asking them for oil. We're asking them to invest in the economy with money.
My point to you is, and the other thing, by the way, the United States is a free country with
Yes,
freedom
it
of
is.
speech.
Yes,
with
it
freedom
is.
of speech,
And freedom of expression.
unlike Saudi Arabia. So a reporter is free in this country to ask whatever question they want of our leader. And they
But
should
they
be
didn't
free to
ask
do
it of
so
our leader.
without
They didn't ask it of our leader.
and they can
Okay.
ask it of any leader that comes to
you-
this country
Let
and
me
puts
ask you a
themselves
question.
in front of our press.
Let me ask you a
Yes.
question. Did you vote for Joe Biden in 2020?
Don't ask me no dumbass
I
question,
want to ask
Brandon.
you a basic question.
Why
Wait a
you
minute.
redirecting? Deal
Can
with the point I'm talking about. Why you
This has to do-
redirecting the question?
This has to do with that point. Did you vote for Joe Biden in 2020?
Okay, explain to me how you asking me this
You got
question.
10 seconds to answer the question.
I'm not gonna answer it. You can cut me off right now. You scared, man.
All right. Okay. So the reason why I was asking him that question was because there was a situation under Joe Biden where some LGBTQ people exposed their breast at the White House. You have the right to pull your breast out in public. This is protected by law. It's freedom of expression. It's freedom of speech, right? It's covered under that. Women have the right to pull out their breasts to breastfeed children or for whatever reason. Just like a man can pull his shirt off, a woman can do the same thing. If it's all about freedom of expression, freedom of the press, why, when those people exposed their breast at the White House, did Joe Biden ban them from ever going back to the White House again? Because there is a time and there is a place for everything. You have freedom of speech, but if something is classified and you share that information, you're going to be in prison, like Eric or Edward or Eric Snowden, whatever his name is, I forget, right? There's a time in a place. The reporter has every right to ask whatever they want, but we are talking about economics. We are talking about trade deals. Why are you in here talking about somebody getting murdered? You're trying to sabotage and undermine the president. That's it. Like I said, they ask the questions. When it's Trump, they ask the serious questions, the tough questions. When it's Biden, they ask, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream, right? Situational awareness is very important. I think that Trump could have went as far as to sue ABC for that, because it seemed like this woman was operating like a saboteur. She did not ask the question in good faith. It was not the time. It's just like when you go to court, a judge can give you a hard time just for coming to court looking raggedy. You have a right to come however you want to, but it's a respect thing. See, people like Acha, he's a Jamaican from a third world cesspool, so they don't have no sense of respect or cordial or being cordial or time and a place. They you go to their country, dude got to pee, he just whips his wiener out in front of everybody and just start peeing in the street in front of kids and women and children and all that type of stuff. So I don't expect people who come from places like that to understand we talking about business. We talking about business. We don't got time for ignorance. We don't got time for sabotage. And I'm telling you, Donald Trump, if that's the way these certain channels are going to behave, get them out. Because there's plenty of other channels that will operate respectfully? Why was it just the ABC reporter who did that? Why did it just so happen to be the person from the network that is hostile to Donald Trump, 95% negative press about Trump? Why was it them? Because they're sabotaging. And if you ask me, it's a form of treason what they're doing, because it was not asked to get an answer. It was asked to try to disrespect and embarrass our guest. And you could be messing up a $1 trillion investment. Your kid could say whatever they want to. But if your kid go to your boss and say, hey, you piece of crap, my daddy said you ain't ish, you going to be on your kid. Like, why would you say that right now? Why would you say that to my boss? So anyone who pretends like they don't understand the truth, they and understand the situation, they're just lying and they're just being hypocritical. Hey, Kofi, Black Critic, man, you in here being ridiculous right now. Miss Berry, let's go. What up? How you doing tonight? I got you, A. Jones. I just saw you, as a matter of fact.
Hi, can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I just wanted to say I agree with what you're saying. However, I don't agree with, anyone saying, oh, if you come in here, you can't ask this, you can't say that, because then that just stamps the authoritarianism situation that they keep screaming. You know what I'm saying? Now, this lady who was very disrespectful, she should just not be invited back. But whatever, if there was any damage done, is done. However, the Donald, he know how to clear shit up. I love Donald Trump. That's my guy.
No,
he held it down.
But you know what I default to is this. You sit down in front of Kamala Harris, oh, don't ask me about this, that, and the third. You sit down in front of Joe Biden, you can't ask about this, and this. They do it all the time with the media.
Yeah, he got all his answers written down. But they work for these people. The media is working for whoever is in charge of this, whatever's going on, this confusion. Media.
Let me say this real quick. You could ask a very embarrassing, humiliating question about a humiliating point in their country's history, but I can't call a man if he want to wear a dress and lipstick. I have to respect his gender pronouns. I have to be conscious of his or her sensitivities, and I have to basically understand the situation. They are the number one group of people who challenge freedom of speech for all types of reasons, right? They were over here beating people up at Berkeley because they didn't agree that they supported Charlie Kirk. They were trying to beat up the people from Turning Point, jumped on somebody. So I'm not taking this from liberal. There's
and you shouldn't. You're right about that.
The time or the place. This is a business meeting.
That's right.
That's right. About business.
That's right. We're not talking about Jeffrey Epstein and all this. That's all they want to talk about. They're telling you what they're going to talk about, how they're going to speak about it, and you're going to go along with it. And that's it. But unfortunately, I'm not.
You faded out. You muted yourself.
Sorry, I said I ain't with it.
Yeah, I'm not with it either. But I'm just telling them, listen, I'm not for authoritarianism. I'm for freedom of speech across the board. But at the same time, these people want you banned from freedom of speech for not saying he, she, her, they, them pronouns. So if y'all can understand how somebody could be offended by that, you understand why you shouldn't bring up the murder of a journalist and then bring it up without even knowing the full scope of the situation, because
she knew what she was doing was inappropriate. She knew what she was doing was inappropriate. She knew it.
Right.
It just seems like he said, you was just sitting here to rabble rouse, to start something. How about ABC lose their fucking license? Because y'all playing.
And if we lost that $1 trillion deal, then what?
Right.
To me, it's a treasonous act, in my opinion. It's a treasonous act. And guess what? ABC have plenty of money to fly to Saudi Arabia, Go to the royal palace, sit down with the crown prince. They got
exactly.
They could tell the president, hey, President Trump, can you get him? Can we get some press time to ask him about the murder? That shit's like 10 years or 15 years old. It's so old. Why would you even ask that? And then here's the cold part. They over here cheering on people who like Zohran Mamdani, who rub shoulders with terrorists.
Exactly. And then going to come up there talking about, oh, the 9/11 families are pissed or whatever she said. Like, huh?
Yeah.
When they just hired Zan Dandy. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So it's all hypocrisy. They don't really care. They're just like I said, all they're trying to do is weaponize it.
They want to talk about anything but what's happening. That's good. Like the good stuff that's happening. Like nobody knows what all is going on. Like nobody has that information because all they keep being inundated with is bullcrap. Stuff that don't have nothing to do with nothing.
Hey, real quick, shout out to all my people watching on Rumble, all my people watching on X. We got a bunch of people watching on X and Rumble right now. Hey, shout out to y'all. Hey, let's get these YouTube numbers up. I don't know why YouTube is just stagnant at like 40, 50, but the views are going up on Rumble. The viewers are going up on X. I don't know what it is about YouTube right now. Something funny going on with YouTube, I think. But it's all
You're
good.
not talking about Epstein. That's why. The fuck?
Dude,
these people are lunatics. They are fucking lunatics.
Even when I talked about him last night. But I got a video.
Oh, really?
I got a video out on Epstein right now. It just came out at 4:00. The black congresswoman who I think was flirting with Jeffrey Epstein, if you ask me, during the interview of Michael Cohen.
Yeah.
He's talking about, you look great. Oh, thank you. Like sitting up flirting with a pedophile.
He said, are you chewing? And that bro swallowed her fucking gum. That right there just let me know he is in charge. Okay?
Listen, bro, she's from the islands, bro. I want to know where's Epstein Island and how far is it from the island?
Epstein Island is in the Virgin Islands. He has like 2 islands, a little one and a big one or something.
Right. So think about that. You happen to be a representative from the Virgin Islands, and you and Epstein is flirting back and forth at a damn hearing. See,
you think she was giving him kids?
Man, I'm thinking she might have been on the island getting freaky, dog.
I'm saying, don't they have like child protective service? Because that's where those little kids be coming from. They be coming from the foster system.
Hey, listen, man, we got to investigate. I think there's way more there than anyone is willing to admit.
I know it's way more there because those little teenage girls, they being abused in their foster homes. They running away. They finding men that's going to give them $80 for a massage. You know what I'm saying? And they going with the shit.
80? Yeah, right. That's.
I'm just. I don't know how much it costs. I don't know, but I'm just giving.
Third world, man. Massage like $10.
I'm just talking. I'm just talking, but I'm saying these are rich people, so they want to make it lavish and luxury and beautiful and things. Maybe they didn't give them nothing. Maybe they just made it nice for when they came over. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, there's a whole lot more to this story, and supposedly, the Donald just signed the paperwork for him for the bill for the DOJ to release everything Epstein. So let's see what I'm ready to read a book. You heard?
Hey, Donald Trump tricked these fools into calling for the release of the stuff that's going. I saw that play from a mile away when Donald Trump was like, "Oh, forget about the Epstein files." All that they called for the release. Now he could say, "Oh, you can't say we weaponized it against you. You guys called for the release of it, and here we go, release it." Because you know who's gonna be in there. I already know who's gonna be in there, but they already trying to resign and shit. They all trying to resign. Some of them leaving the country. We've been knew the Democrats were they're exactly the people we thought they were. Mm-hmm. They're exactly the people we thought they were, and now they're gonna get exposed. But thank you, Miss Mary.
You're welcome. Thank you, Brandon. Have a good night.
Keep on watching. Thank you. My boy Ant Jones. What up, Ant Jones? Thank you for waiting patiently.
Yeah, because I'm a patient dude. What's good, family?
What's up? What's up, Mr. New York?
I'm good, man. How the family doing, man?
Everybody is wonderful.
All right. That's good, man. Listen, man. So wait, you after everybody speak, you dropping them off the live?
Yes, sir. Everybody has a 3-minute time limit. Get cracking.
I can't get yo.
Be concise.
We still gonna have that problem, man. Come on, is it 3 minutes? I gotta talk
Let's
for 3
go,
minutes.
Ant.
Come on.
You could have been. Look, you gotta just get to
Come
talking.
on, yo. Yeah, come on, yo. This is politics, man. Yo, why I can't get my point across, man? I gotta speak for 3 minutes, really, bro?
Because I gotta take my baby to the gym tonight, and it's getting late.
Listen, all right, man. In my point of view, man, I think we got a fundamental problem with America, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know at the end of the day if democracy really gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of idiots out there. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say by that is like people don't like take a historical context on life. You know what I'm saying? They just wake up every morning and live in America and just say, oh, like America just formed out of thin air. And it's just gonna be what it is. We can do whatever we want. Ain't no consequences. But that's not what history is about, man. America was formed in 1775 or 1776. It's not even an old empire, yeah. So people study the history of empires, they will understand how flawed the system is, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Democrats and Republicans, as far as the democracy, I think, you know what I'm saying, in all empires you have weak leaders. And I think as far as this country is concerned, we probably only had strong leaders within the first 80 years. From after the 1800s, everybody up to now, besides Donald Trump, and he's trying to fix a broken system. But everybody from the late 1800s up to now has been a weak leader, man. Because how do you get down $36 trillion in debt? You know what I'm saying? You get that way by outsourcing manufacturing. How do you let these companies start their business inside the US and say, okay, yeah, all right, we want to save money now, so we're gonna move to Mexico. We want to save money now, so we're gonna move to China. Who co-signed that shit? If that's what you want to do, okay, you gotta leave your patent here. Everything that you invented here, you got to leave here, so we can start a new company. Man. So I don't know what a riff went wrong, but at the same aspect, I blame black men, because black men have been informed since the late 1800s, through the Garvey era, through the quote unquote controversial Malcolm X era and Dr. King or whatever. But we also had the Amos Wilsons and the John Henry Clarks that told us, listen, man, we got to build our own economy. I think black people, black men particular, because, okay, we are supposed to be the structure and we're supposed to be the leaders of the nation. I think black men have failed this nation. And failing the nation means failing yourself, because all these dudes that you had on here before, you know what I'm saying, especially Costa, you know what I'm saying, he's talking about, oh, yeah, oh, the strap, this and the she came up there for the smoke. Listen to how these guys talk, man. Just listen to how they talk, man. They talk like little children, man. You so tough, big and bad, but you run nothing in Chicago. You hold no weight in Chicago. Even the Latinos
the illegals came and punked every last black
it's not even the legals. Not even the legals. Not even the legals. The Latin Kings was running shit before the illegals came through, man. They got a famous quote by one of the Latin King members in Chicago. Is like, yo, we don't even have to touch these Negroes because they kill each other. Why should we even touch them when they kill each other, man? There's something fundamentally wrong with the black man, yeah, which doesn't understand power. doesn't understand the power dynamic. Now, if the black man had got on board in the 20s and 30s, we could have had a significant number, you know what I'm saying, of quote unquote paid for or bought for politicians that would have been like, you know what I'm saying, having access to Africa, you know what I'm saying, having access to certain other resources. And we could have helped these white people, man, whether they wanted our help or not. If you don't want our help, move out the way, man.
We could have built our own.
Exactly. But I think black man don't really want no control of this globe, man. You know what I'm saying? He wants to leave it up to him.
I mean, and Jones, you know the reality, bro. Like, I used to think when I was in corporate America, I used to think like, man, why it ain't more black people in charge, man? Black people need to get the opportunities. And when I actually became management, went into marketing and stuff, I realized they do offer higher positions to black people, but a lot of black folks turn those positions down. So I don't want to be worried about that. I don't have to be worried. They ain't gonna blame me.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm saying is like it's kind of like a similar thing.
What you saying is true, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm saying. Okay, look how the Koreans operate. Look how the Muslims operate, right? They operate on a different agenda. Like, all right, we just gonna move in silence and we just gonna build up our economy. And then when we get our economy right, we gonna get our political money right. Just like up here in New York with the Zora Mandami bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? You had Sharpton and all these other coons and all these other labor unions backing this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because he already gave them a promise or whatever, but he the head of the spear, he the tip of the spear. What I'm trying to say, okay, if you over here in the new world or whatever, and you say, all right, listen, you went through 400 years of this, that, and the third. Now is our time to get a piece of the pie, and we can also uplift our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world, and we can run this whole globe, you know, saying in a circular manner and connect thoughts or whatever and connect this money together, man. But the Negro wasn't thinking about that. The Negro was like, all right, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna wait to see what somebody else has done. What somebody else does. You know what I'm saying? And what somebody else did is overtake you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, how can somebody from 2,000 miles away or 3,000, 4,000 miles away in a different country come and overtake your economy? Notice. All these niggas crying about jobs, homelessness, housing, and all that, but their community is taken over by everybody else, man. You don't want nothing in the community. Like I said, with this dude Costa, you know what I'm saying? He's a, you know what I'm saying? Like he a day one dude. He a day one dude down with you from day one. So to be controversial is nonsensical, man. Why are you doing that, man? You out there in Chicago, man. If I go to Chicago right now, I guarantee every corner store is owned by A-Rap, man. How are you gangster?
The thing is, you have to understand, like, one thing people got to realize is like a lot of what happened after Martin Luther King and stuff, that was all it was all a scheme to take the knowledge base of black folks from being applicable to theoretical, right? We left the trades. That's applicable knowledge. This is how you build a house, right? This is how you physically put up a 2-story, 3-story home, right? This is how you physically build a skyscraper. We left that knowledge behind. We abandoned that knowledge for, oh, I want to major in business finance. I want to major in sociology. I want to major in psychology. These are theoretical fields, right? Everything is based on theory. And so you can't really make nothing tangible with that knowledge, but in like the clinical aspect, you know, it has value. So once we did that, bro, it greatly inhibited our ability to create jobs. See, and that's why we out here begging for a job, because yo uncle, yo daddy, yo grandpa, they can't just say, you know what, we ain't got no work. F it, let's start a construction company. We ain't got no work. F it, let's start a damn auto body shop, stuff like that. And when the immigrants came, they said, damn, these idiots are abandoning the trades. They're abandoning the fields where, you know, there is applicable knowledge, where you have a tangible investment, right? So it makes total sense, because now most Black people, they want a job where they can just use their brain, but they don't gotta do no physical work, right? Now all of us can't do that, but that's what we would all hope for if you ask most Black people. And so now we're going through what every culture goes through, that begins to rely on other groups to do the labor and the tangible work. You end up getting phased out. Every society in history that turned over the physical aspect of running society to like slaves or indentured servants, they all collapsed not long after. The Greeks, the Romans, you know, remember Rome, they started using they started using armies from other places to fight their battles. And that was the beginning. Yeah. And that was the beginning of the end. You look at England and the United States, the Civil War. Why did the Revolutionary War? A big reason why Britain lost that war is because they were using Hessians, the German soldiers. It wasn't just like a total British effort, right? So it's like when you start taking the hands-off approach and trying to put people in make people do the dirty work for you, that's the beginning of the end for you.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. But you're talking about people that was fat and lazy.
Yeah.
When have we
fat and lazy?
When have we got fat and lazier?
What you mean?
You've been on,
look at the EBT situation. Look at the EBT situation.
So that's the EBT situation is fat and lazy?
Bro, most of it, bro, stop. You know,
but we talking about so you talking about men or women? Which one are you talking about?
We're talking about period across the board.
So you telling me a Black man in the United States of America, a single Black man in the United States of America is satisfied with an EBT check?
Bro, I'm telling you that I know Black men who making 6 figures a year. Their only motivation.
EBT?
Listen. Some, but look at what I'm telling you is this. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna speak to you real. How many of these dudes, trained electricians, trained plumbers, trained carpenters, they oil iron workers, all that, they're sitting up on disability, running scam every 3 to 6 months. They going off work. Oh man, I got this doctor that could hook me up with a disability claim. He'll sign me off and I ain't got to work. I could sit at home, collect disability and get EBT.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So every time you run into a Black tradesman, they're either trying to scam the freaking system, or they're either saying, you know what? I go to work, but my only motivation after work is to go to the bar and get drunk and eat hot wings and watch sports. Come on, bro. You know what I'm talking about.
But that's on a micro. That's on a micro level.
No, bro. That's too many of us, bro.
No. I'm not saying
every friend I got who's in a trade is doing some type of disability scam. They don't never go to work.
No, I'm not saying you're not right, but I'm saying it's on a micro level.
We have no desire to teach what we know.
Because even if you making $250,000, $300,000 and you don't run no institution, that means there's a fundamental flaw within your thinking, man.
Exactly. We just get the check, go get the $1,000 a month charger with the Hellcat package or whatever it is, and then just go to work. We love that comfortable. We are fat and lazy in a way. Go to work. Oh, I'm a journeyman. I barely gotta do nothing. Get off, go drink. Bro, when I learned, because years back, I needed to learn when we were staying at the house, I had to learn how to do electrical sockets, right? Like replace the outlets, right? I called 4 of my Black friends who were electricians. None of them wanted to teach me how to do those sockets. Take you 10 minutes, right? I looked it up on YouTube. I thought I had an understanding of it, but I wanted to just be sure so I didn't like electrocute myself, right? My Mexican friend, Brian, right now, he's actually in prison right now, which is crazy. My Mexican homie, Brian, board certified or trained electrician, had his own electrical company. That man came to my house, got with me on his knees. We on our knees, pause. He's like, I'm going to do the first one, and I want you to pay close attention, because after I do this first one and show you, I'm going to supervise you while you do all the other outlets in the house. Bro, I did like 10 outlets in the house, the kitchen, upstairs, downstairs, all that. He stayed there patiently watching me. Make sure you do this. And here's a trick on how you can do it faster, all this stuff. We don't like taking the extra time to teach. We don't like taking the extra time to invest, even if it's just an investment of time and knowledge. I don't want to teach you, because that means I gotta, that's gonna take time away from me going to the bar to chase these same broke hoes and try to take them home with me tonight.
So you understand what I'm saying? There's a fundamental flaw within the black man's psychology.
Listen, if you know, bro. What's understood don't need to be explained. But that's our biggest issue. We got to get back to where we were. We were once the teachers of this earth, and we have reneged on our responsibility. We don't care about teaching no more. We just care about recreation, entertainment.
You absolutely right. You absolutely right. And the fundamental flaw goes to everything, every aspect in society, man. Whether it's in the NBA or the NFL, man. Dudes don't want to be great just to be great. They want to be great to get the money. And when they don't get the money, they don't want to be great no more. You know what I'm saying? But having a couple million or 150 grand, you know what I'm saying, is a drop in the bucket to people like the Prince of Saudi Arabia family. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's a drop in the bucket, but $1 trillion investment.
Yeah, no. I'm not talking about the investment. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you as a black person living in America, whether you're a foreigner, native born, Native American, whatever you call yourself, man. You getting a couple of trinkets, a couple of dollars here and there when you don't fundamentally run nothing. Is a side effect, is a fundamental deficiency within black men, yeah. Everything is full circle, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
you're still a dependent though. Like even if you
exactly,
do work
that's
for
what
every
I'm trying
penny,
to say.
You're still dependent on the next person for that money you're working for. Because if they say, "Hey, ain't no jobs no more," you fired.
Not only that. What if the system crashes?
Yeah, of course.
What you gonna do then? You start killing up each other for some Kansas sardine?
You're going to start crying. That's what you're going to do. First thing you're going to do is cry. Then you're going to go to the county building and see what they could give you. If they don't give you nothing, then you're going to start trying to go rob and steal. You know how it goes.
Only reason why you going to the county building or robbing and stealing because you understand you don't control no resources, man. In order to be a powerful people, you have to control your family, number one. You have to control everything within your family, and then you have to control everything outside of your family, man. And the way to do that is to control resources, man. That's what I'm trying to say, man. And I think, go ahead.
No, the number one resource you control is your knowledge. And like people are in the comments like, oh, it's nobody's business to teach you. Listen, if you're not teaching me, just teach your kids, man. Teach your kids, because if you can't invest what you know into them, then what are you doing? This dude know how to work on a car. They kid don't even know how to work on a car. Like, don't know nothing about working on a car. My dad gonna do it for me.
At the same time, this is what I say. There's a fundamental problem with America, and it boils down to black people in America because nobody knows how to do nothing.
That's the problem.
The average black person or the average American doesn't know how to really do nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? When I say do nothing, man, I mean, come on, man. All right, how did you learn how to do certain things? Because your elders taught you, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Even
whoever taught you, but you had to pay attention. Even if you wasn't paying attention, you kind of got that side view, peripheral vision, you know what I'm saying, and kind of absorb the knowledge that way, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of the Gen Z, which they kind of like pushing, Gen Z this and Gen Z that, the youngers, these youngers don't know nothing, man. They done skipped over Gen X, the young Gen X, and they done skipped over y'all, the millenniums, and they done went to Gen Z. Like the Gen Z gon' damn improve the lives of the American people. Ain't no way in hell that's happening, man. Cause these dudes don't know nothing, man. All they know is bullshit. All they know is socialism, communism, transgenderism, you know what I'm saying, and all kind of other tax the rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, for instance, let me tell you.
You got like 2 minutes for real, because I gotta keep going.
All right. Let me break it down to you in this last 2 minutes, man. All right. Everybody was out there talking about, oh, we're gonna tax the rich, we're gonna do this. Tax the rich only means tax the middle class and the poor. Yeah? And showing up isn't that what Brandon Johnson did?
Yeah, yep. And I was warning people this whole time. Everybody's rich to somebody. So if a broke, poor person say tax the rich, he talking about your middle class ass, because to him, you're rich.
But when you don't know, man. And when you ain't accustomed to working for what you need or working for what you want, you know what I'm saying? By the sweat of your brow, you shall eat bread, man.
That's why we up here with that's why we up here with 76 viewers, because we teaching. If I needed 500 viewers, I'd be talking about some hip-hop shit right now. Cardi B saying her life is in danger, but we just gonna carry the burden. But like, real talk, man, all I would say on this subject is they used to ask kids what they wanted to be when they grow up. They don't even ask that shit no more, bro. Because they don't want the kids to even have any idea of what they want to be when they grow up, because they want them to buy into socialism. I don't want to be nothing. I want to get it from somebody who got more than me.
Let me leave you with this, man. Let me leave you with this and let you go on to whatever you about to do, man. You ain't supposed to be asking the children what they want to be, man. You should tell them what you want them to be, man. That's how you build a society.
But at least they plant the seed.
All right,
when they little.
All right.
I want to be a fireman. I want to be a police officer. I want to be a doctor.
Bro. If you want to lead a nation, if you want to lead the army, and you see your child is equipped, you teach him how to lead the army, man. That's what Alexander's father taught him, how to lead the army. That's how he invaded all these other countries. That's what Hannibal's father taught him, how to lead the army. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell these kids what you want them to be, man. I need you to go do this, and I need you to go do that, man. You know, stop pussyfooting around the bush, man. We got to stop beating around the bush, man. We only got certain amount of slots open, man. Certain amount of slots open, and we need you to fill that, man. If we need 500 doctors, then we gotta draft 500 doctors. We need 500 lawyers. We gotta draft. Everybody can't do the same thing, man. If we need 500 mechanics, we gotta draft 500 mechanics, man. We gotta tell our children what we need them to be, and we got to push them in that direction, man. Because that's what the nation, that's what the nation. You know what I'm saying? What you call it? That's what the nation requires. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
We gotta go. Thank you.
All right,
all right. Thank you. Ann Jones, y'all done got a sermon from the minister himself. Hey, P Sizzle, you got like a minute and a half, bro. Let's go.
Yep. So I just wanted to say, I agree with you that our country has fundamentally changed, because 70%, I believe, of our GDP comes from services economy. There's not that many people that actually work with their hands anymore, which is kind of a shame, because there's a lot of construction out there to do. There's a lot of manufacturing out there to do. Where I do disagree is, and I know this might not be something that might be a strong point for your viewers, but degrees in services like engineering, tech, finance, like they do pay a lot of money. And even like the last guy was saying, like Gen Z, like I'm part of Gen Z, and like I recently got hired for a 6-figure job, and like half of my class are of the 30 kids that they hired are black kids, like black kids that did business, black kids that did marketing, that did sociology, politics, whatever it may be. But so all I'm trying to say is, like, it's easy to make fun of the next generation, but I've seen so many black kids and minorities from my high school and college that ended up becoming engineers, lawyers, bankers, doctors. And there is an effort compared to previous generations. It's just going to take time for adults to see it. I see it in front of my eyes in my generation. There's a lot of representation of minorities in the workforce.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah. I mean, it's where you are. I went to the Midwest, bunch of black people working. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of our opinions are formed by where we are. If you're in California, ain't it? I mean, there's a ton of black people here, but there's also a ton of everything else. And it's a very like spread out state. You go to Indiana, you go to Illinois, it's black people everywhere doing every type of job. So it gives you a little bit of hope. I went to a town with a bunch of black people, like zero crime rate. You know, so it's just like, oh, so this is where all the peaceful black towns is, this type of thing. But we just got to know, like, travel, go around, move around the world, equip yourself, learn all the skills you can, because you never know when you might, you know, I feel like so many of us are like, well, I went to school to do this, so this is what I got to do. Hell, you could go drive a truck right now. 17,000 CDLs revoked. Go get that $100,000, $200,000 a year for a couple years and invest, you know. But guys, we got to get the heck out of here. First and foremost, I want to thank my boy, Sticks and Stones, for the $5 holler in the super chat. Appreciate you, my bro. Always showing love to the channel. We were going to discuss the no jumper, but we didn't hit the goal. So, y'all, we'll try again tomorrow. But thank you so much, my brother. And a shout out to my girl, T. Lee, for the $10 holler in the Cash App. My sister. Appreciate that so very much. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching this. I appreciate every single thing you do for this channel. Take care of yourselves, but most importantly, please take care of each other.